Okay, hi. I think we've gone live with Facebook Live on Heal Clinic's Facebook page. So if there are people who are getting the messages, please do join in. We'll just wait until everybody joins in, gets their messages. As you join in, please do type in so that I'm able to see you. Please say hello. Let us know where you are. Okay. So Deepthi, I think we have only you as of now on Facebook Live. So let's just give a few minutes to whoever else wants to join in, because the messages would just have gone out and everybody needs to figure out how to plug in, get out into the net. So the good thing is I think I can see whenever anybody joins, because Deepthi, when you joined, I was able to see Deepthi has joined. Hi Nitya, welcome to the Facebook Live What is EFT session. Okay, so we're just waiting for people to join in. Right now we have Deepthi and Nitya. Oh, give me a second. Okay, so as you join in, please do type in something. Just say hello to us so that we know that you're on and we're audible and visible. So we will be talking about the upcoming workshop on EFT that's to be held on 30th of Jan. What's it about? What are you going to gain? What is EFT? What's tapping? So we're just waiting for some more people to join in so that people don't really miss out on what's going on. As you do join in, please do type in the chat box. Please do say hello to us. Let us know where you're from. Hi, Vishal. Okay, so because we want to be posting it a little later as well, I also wanted to mention that we have a lot of workshops, webinars, as well as packages that are coming in just for you, coming soon, that will be dealing with stresses of different kinds in terms of relationship stress, exam stress. Right now, as you know, for the 30th of Jan, we are looking at conducting a workshop, which I hope you will be attending. That's all about dealing with parenting stress, especially for stressed out mothers. Okay, so I just want to give a couple more minutes for a few more people to join in. And then we can get started with a little more detail in terms of what will we be looking at in the workshop and what really is EFT. I mean, it's just an acronym that's floating around. How does it help us? Why is it really useful for stressed out mothers? How is it useful in parenting situations? And how soon do we really see benefits? And what are the benefits that really come across from using a tool that not many people are familiar with? So how well does it work? And if it is simple, how easy is it to use on a regular basis, right? Okay, so I think a lot of people are coming in. As you're coming in, please do reach out to us on the chat. Please do say hello. Please let us know where you're from. Okay, so I'll get started in the meanwhile as people join in. So I wanted to start with really what is EFT. I know it's just an acronym that's been shared with you. And the title just does say that it's a powerful tool for stressed out mothers. But what is EFT? EFT actually stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques. What does that really mean? On the one hand, yes, you get freedom from emotion in terms of stress. Okay, so in any sort of a parenting situation, which is what our workshop on the 30th of Jan 2018 is for, in any kind of a parenting situation where you as a parent are under a lot of stress in terms of any kind of anxiety, frustration, anger, you're holding guilt in terms of dealing with your children for any number of reasons. Yeah? EFT at one level helps you gain freedom from that emotion, because when you're psychologically distanced and you're able to release and process the emotion that you are experiencing, let's take frustration as an example. When that frustration eases and you are in a much calmer state, that's an excellent place from which to make any kind of a decision, to take any kind of action, to even approach another person. Because every person, and children especially, are very sensitive to the way that you are and how you are feeling, how you are behaving, you know. So how many times have we gone around banging, you know, pots and pans while we're working, or banging doors while we're running in and out of different rooms? People in the household can sense that emotion that's coming from you. And even if you're sitting quietly and working and doing nothing, that reaction, whether it is a fear reaction, whether it is feeling maybe victimized in, you know, certain extreme cases, any kind of a reaction where other people feel, you know, I really don't want to talk to this person right now because I'm not getting the right kind of vibes, that can sour a relationship over a long period of time. So that's when it leads to heated arguments, it leads to passive aggressive behavior. Children don't listen to you. That's another very common thing that we at Heal Clinic always hear from parents. So how do you get them to listen? That's really not what we're going to teach you. This is not a parenting class. What we will be teaching you, or what we will be facilitating for you, is a very quick, easy, simple, and yet an extremely powerful tool that helps you calm your own self down at the one level, like I said. The second level that EFT works at is actually to give you the freedom to express your emotions in a healthy manner. So a lot of times, what a lot of people do, especially I've seen my parents do this, they're in the middle of working through something, or they're on their laptop or whatever, and I need something from them. There's that irritation that comes right in there, that you don't want to take it out on your child, but the child still knows that you're irritated, not because the child has come, but because you're in the middle of work, or you're in the middle of doing something. So EFT helps you, instead of suppressing that emotion, instead of repressing it and having it boil inside you, subconsciously affecting everything from your physical body to your emotional senses to your mental state. EFT, at a time when you are able to handle that emotion and you're able to process that emotion, gives you the healthy expression for that emotion, allows you to process it, and then allows you to release it, so that you're able to gain more wisdom in terms of how do I deal with this situation next time that it comes around, such that everybody in that interaction feels good, and they feel cherished, and they feel nurtured, and it's a win-win situation for everybody. So EFT, I know, is jargon. A simplistic way of talking about it is to just say tapping. And the way that it works, just to give you a little bit of a science behind it. What is the science behind it? Why does it work? What is tapping? Tapping is basically that we figure out some meridian points or pressure points, and there are only 9 points that this particular tool uses, that through the workshop and through subsequent webinars and packages that we will be guiding you through. When you simply tap on those meridian points, as loosely as I am tapping right now, for example, the emotions, the stress, the anger, the frustration, the anxiety that is stored in those cells, in those meridian points, are slowly released from the body through all the toxins that need to be flushed out of the system, in order to give you a much healthier perspective at all levels. That's physical, emotional, mental, and even the spiritual level. How does that work? Why is it that just tapping on the pressure point works? It works because whenever we have any kind of an reaction, whether we are conscious of it or not, when we have any kind of an experience in life, all of the experiences that we hold within our system, they are physically stored in the cells of our body. So tapping is a way of releasing all of those pent up emotions and all of those experiences that we have not properly digested and processed through our lives. Why EFT? That's the main question that I wanted to answer. How does it really help in any kind of a parenting situation? The thing with that we really wanted to focus with these workshops and the subsequent webinar packages that we are going to come out with is that we wanted to move parents from a place of control to a place of connectedness, because that's essentially what we want with everybody, right? And as parents, we have a very soft corner for our children. We want them to feel connected to us. We want ourselves to feel connected to them. We want what is best, not only for our children, but we want what is best for the relationship between parent and child. And this is particularly true in situations where you have certain patterns that are behavioral patterns that are already running through your daily lives, right? So you get up in the morning, there's that morning rush, and everybody's in a pattern, right? Maybe you have a pattern of yelling to your children, and it's just become the norm to get up in the morning and to get ready and to eat their breakfast. Maybe it's become the norm that every time there is an exam, the child gets stressed out, you get stressed out, you're not really sure how to handle the entire situation. So you try to control the schedule, you try to control how much the child is studying, you try to control how the child goes about their everyday lives. And nobody likes to be controlled. So then you get a lot of backlash from your child in terms of passive aggressive behavior, in terms of outbursts, in terms of not doing things just because they don't like the way that you have spoken to them or the way that you have acted. Now, we don't really want to play a blame game over there, who's to do what, whose action is not right, because that really does not get us anywhere. So the focus that we are looking at is how do we take you to a place of feeling love, feeling light, feeling calm, and then from that place of calm to then respond to your child and have them respond to the calm that you are then projecting into the atmosphere and into the environment that you're living in. And this has extremely long-term benefits, because the more that we keep practicing tools such as EFT, tools such as breathing, tools such as meditation, that keep bringing us into center, there is, with that personal transformation that occurs, where instead of reacting out of a fear-based mentality that says, oh my God, what is going to happen if XYZ things don't happen, or if my child does not do ABC. Instead of coming from that fear-based consciousness, the focus is to come from a love-based consciousness. And when you come from love, it's easier to have a conversation. It's easier to co-create with your child a much healthier atmosphere, a much healthier relationship, one that's based on mutual respect, one that's based on centeredness even for the child. So it also helps in terms of, let's say the child is stressed out, but you are calm. Isn't that a much easier way of saying, sweetheart, I know you have this exam and I'm here for you, and you can, and the child can feel that you're there for them, emotionally supporting them, then from that space, it's easier for the child to open up to you and say, yes, I am stressed out about it. This is the thing that I'm really not comfortable about. And then you can figure out, how to help them in a way that's supportive for both of you. And there's a win-win situation, not just for you, the child, but also for the entire family environment. So that's really our focus in terms of having any kind of a workshop or a webinar, especially this 30th Jan 2018 workshop that we have instituted. So on the one level, the benefits that you get are a happy relationship with your child. On the second level, the benefit that you do get is a much happier and healthier family environment. But the third benefit, just coming to this workshop, is that you can use the same tool in any kind of a situation. So let's say even though you have used this tool and learned how to use it for a parenting situation, you can then repurpose the tool to use it for any kind of stress, any kind of family relationship situation, any kind of work situation, any stress in terms of any traumas, physical pain, any childhood wounds that you want to heal. So we will be leading you through a very simple but very effective method, such that you can get a hang of how to use this for yourself, how to facilitate this for your child who's undergoing any kind of stress, and how to use this on a very regular basis to bring more light, to bring more love, and to bring more connectedness into your everyday lives. So if there are any questions at this point that you would like me to answer in terms of anything more that you would like to know about the workshop that we are going to have on 30th Jan, please do type in. While people type in their questions and comments, I also wanted to mention that one, the workshop that I have been talking about, that's on 30th Jan 2018. It's at 10:30 at Banshankari 3rd Stage, Bangalore. So this is for everybody who can make it to the location, because face-to-face sometimes helps when you're starting out with any kind of a modality. And I would really recommend that you attend the workshop. This workshop is EFT, a powerful tool for stressed out mothers, and using how to use this simple yet effective tool for any kind of a parenting stress situation. So there will be group activities so that you can get one-on-one hands-on experience in terms of how do you use this in different sets of situations that get thrown at you in everyday life. What I also wanted to mention is that coming soon in the next month, that's February 2018, we will be having a webinar series that's for parents and children to some extent, focused more on exam stress and how to use this same tool, this EFT tapping tool, to release exam stress, to deal with it, and then to move from a place of stress to confidence. Yeah? So as parents, if you would like to attend this webinar and get more details in terms of how much it is priced, how long will it be, because we will be talking more than simply EFT. We will also be talking about breathing techniques that you can use for yourself and that you can teach your child. We will also be looking at nutrition that helps physical development, that helps in calming the nerves, in soothing the mind, and bringing in more confidence. So what are the various minerals and vitamins that we should really be focused on, which also helps parents on a regular basis in terms of, because even if you are a homemaker, you're still working all day long at home. So please do ping us, please communicate with us, message us if you want to know any details about the workshop and the webinars that are going to be held, the workshop on 30th of Jan, the webinar series throughout the entire month of February 2018. Also, please let us know, because we have a lot of professional EFT tapping coaches who can help you in terms of any specific issues that you are facing, and you would like them to run you through an entire process so that you can sit with them and get coached and heal all of those emotional stress and anxiety with the coach one-on-one. And then, whatever homework that they give you in terms of things that you can do, tips and tricks that you can take with you, having dealt with the more difficult aspects with the coach. So there is a lot of professional help as well available to you if you would like to pursue that opportunity as well. Please do send in a message to Heal Clinic or call us, and we will let you know in terms of how you can get from control to connectedness. So there is a question here that's coming in. Okay, so somebody is asking, does this have any side effect? EFT actually, the way that we will be running you through in the workshop and in the webinar, we will be ensuring that you don't have radical reactions to using the tool. So what has happened that I have heard other people say is that, let's say you have anxiety that rates on a level of 9 out of 10, right? So that's really strong anxiety. If you start trying to deal with this big load of anxiety right out of the gate, having just learned EFT, yes, then that can have side effects, because you're not ready to deal with all those emotions that are just rushing out from your body. So then there can be a lot of physical side effects until you loop through the EFT process again and again and again and release that. But the way that we will be taking you through the EFT process is what I like to call a spiral method. So we start from the periphery with emotions that are easier to handle, that may be, let's say, at a 6 out of 10 intensity, or maybe even a 4 out of 10 intensity, right? So you spiral from the externals, from the peripheral emotions, and as you start taking away all of those emotions, and you start getting deeper and deeper into what is the core of the entire issue and the stress that you are undergoing, it becomes easier for you to handle the emotion. So you may have emotional reactions while you're tapping. For example, you may want to cry, and that is perfectly normal. In fact, that is also considered a way of measuring that it is working. But having gone through the entire spiral technique and coming down to a level where you're able to say, yes, now I'm at a much calmer level and my breathing has changed, and I am able to measure, quantify the difference in how I was and how I am right now, then you shouldn't really have any kind of side effects. Okay, so somebody's also asking if I can take you through a case where EFT helped a mother-child relation. Actually, I do have a personal case, because I feel personal stories work the best. So my relationship with my mother has always been very strained. There have been lots of arguments. We never really got along at a lot of different levels. But we both wanted to work at the relationship, and we never really understood why things weren't working out. Because I can see her point of view in terms of, study for exams and whatnot. But from my point of view, it felt that she was taking things too seriously, right? And there was no need for me to slog, for example, for me to slog, 15 hours a day for the board exams. So that was a very big thing for us. But I can also understand my mother's point of view, because board exams were a really big deal, and there's a lot of comments going around, everybody's taking up tuitions and whatnot. So there was stress at both ends, and I was mostly reacting to how she was behaving, because every time that she would push, I wouldn't really listen. This is in conjunction with an already stressed out relationship that we already had. So when I finally jumped into EFT and I started to calm myself down, me as the child, I stopped reacting to what she was saying, and then I gave EFT to her as an option that she could look at. So I'm telling you from the child's point of view, because this is really what will happen in terms of anything that you may undergo as a parent, but what really happens to the child is the point of view that I'd really like to take up. Is because once that she did start to work with EFT and she started to calm herself down, she did a lot of work in terms of dealing with her own stresses, dealing with what people had told her, dealing with the anxiety of, what would happen if things really broke down and, I didn't do well, or it brought a sense of faith at one extreme, yes, but it also brought a sense of, it's not that big a deal. And that if we take a breath and that we do one thing at a time and take baby steps, maybe that's a better way of approaching things. And to me, I could feel that shift very instantly in terms of the way that she was approaching, even though her words didn't really reveal anything. So it was just in the approach that she had when, let's say, I got back from school and she asked, how was your day? Rather than the earlier version before EFT where it was, go and study, right? So even if she didn't say those words, all I could hear or all I could perceive from her was, oh my God, she's not studying, bad things are going to happen. So from the child's point of view, it actually helped me get back in touch with her. I started to open up to her in terms of, this is what actually happened in class and this is what people are saying. And then we would both run EFT on ourselves to say it doesn't matter what other people say. It matters how we feel and what we can do about the situation. So over time, our relationship has improved. Are there still things for us to work on? Actually, not that many. Also because through EFT, I have matured. Through EFT, she has matured. And then we added a lot of things as well. We added meditation, we added breathing exercises as well, that we would do separately, right? So this is not something that has to be done in tandem. But now our relationship is to the point where we can joke about a lot of things and it doesn't have to be very serious. We can, be around each other and not get on each other's nerves. And it's a much healthier relationship where I feel that I am cherished and she feels that she is respected. That's basically how it has evolved for us. And that's really what I would like to see with anybody who would be attending the workshop or who would be coming in for the webinars, irrespective of, whatever is the relationship that you have. Although we are focusing a lot on parenting stress, this can be helpful for any kind of a relationship. So it's not necessary that the other person does anything or is doing meditation or EFT or anything alongside with you. The point is that you change your approach to the entire relationship, and that has a phenomenal effect. So even if the other person doesn't know that you are doing this, but you are saying, I no longer want to come from this place of fear and control and anxiety and anger. I'd rather come from a place of love and light and connectedness where I feel confident in myself and I feel that I can respect you for who you are as a person. That changes the entire relationship dynamic. And unbeknownst to the other person, unconsciously, they also start changing their interaction with you because you have taken that step and you come with a much different way of talking to them, way of approaching them, way of acting around them. So that's the benefit that EFT gives. It works very quickly. It works very effectively. It is sort of sometimes a very cathartic experience that you can have. But when you do tap these things out, they stick with you for the long term. And it is a very simple process that you can use in any kind of a situation. So even if you're not able to take a step back from a situation and you're sitting in a very stressful environment, while that stress is ongoing, you can still tap that stress out of your system, so that you are constantly telling yourself, even though I'm feeling like this, I wholly and completely love and accept myself. And it is from that place of self-love, self-worth, and self-confidence that I will take a deep breath, I will center myself, and then I will decide what to say, what to do, how to say it, and change the entire dynamic of this one interaction. And as interactions keep building up, the entire relationship dynamic starts to change, moving into a space of connectedness and respect, where everybody feels cherished. So if that's basically what I wanted to cover with what you can look forward to with EFT, specifically with parenting situations and any kind of relationship situations. So if there are any more questions, please let me know. Like I said, we are going to have a workshop on the 30th of Jan. In Bangalore, Banshankari 3rd stage. So if you can make it for that, I would really recommend that you do, because group energies help a lot for everybody, because then you're not alone and that there are other people who are experiencing this. And it's good to be facilitated by people face to face. There's also the webinar series for exams and parenting stress that will be coming out in Feb. Like I said, it's a combination of including professionals who will be leading you through breathing exercises and through dietary instruction, so that there is a more holistic, comprehensive way of dealing with stress that you can use for yourself as the parent, and you can start to implement for your child, or for any kind of a relationship that you want to resolve and you want to take into a place of harmony. Okay, so I think we started wanting this to be 10-minute FB live session in terms of what we can expect for the EFT session. It's turned out to be 30 minutes. I hope you've got a significant amount of value from this experience. And if there are any further questions, if you'd like to reach out to us, please do call us. You have the Heal Clinic numbers on the Facebook page and on the Heal Clinic website. Do messages, ping us. We can get you in touch with professionals as well, who would be able to connect with you for one-on-one coaching sessions, if that's also something that you're interested in, to release you and take you through, like I said, from a place of control to a place of connectedness. Okay, so thank you so much for being with us here today. Please do get in touch and let us know your feedback. Are there any more sessions, FB Live sessions that you'd like us to do? Please do let us know and we'll get that done for you. Thank you so much for being with us here today.